everybody, it's Read With Me, Mrs. T, and I have a great book for you today, and I want to talk about why I picked this book. Why? I don't know why I have an accent all of a sudden, but I want to talk about why I picked this book. I usually do the opposite of what everybody says, and they say, don't pick a book by its cover. Meaning you don't pick up a book and decide if you like it by the way the picture looks on the front. Because sometimes the person who draws the pictures is not the same person who wrote the story. And maybe that person is a beautiful artist and the story is not so good. But to be honest, friends, every story I've read that I stuck with it, I usually end up liking it. There's just a couple out there where I'm like, huh? But I try and take a lesson from it. So Ferdinand is actually not one of those books that I picked up because I like the cover. I had this book in my library, I want to say, don't tell anybody. Gosh, probably like 10 years before I read it. And I just didn't like it. And then I saw in a movie, there was a story where a lady was talking about the story Ferdinand, and I loved it. So I started reading it, and it's true. You can't judge a book by its cover. And it's not that the cover is not that cute, but it was like black and white. And I thought, I want color pictures. Boy, did I learn a lesson. So if you look at the picture, it's Ferdinand. And it's written by Munro Leaf. Drawings by Robert Lawson. Love the drawings. I just wanted color. That's how prejudiced I was. I wanted some color in there. So that's Ferdinand. The story of Ferdinand. Once upon a time in Spain. The pictures are very detailed. If you can, you should get this book because it's fun to look at all the little details in the picture. There was a little bull and his name was Ferdinand. Look at him, he's smelling the butterfly. He's looking at the butterfly. He's such a gentle soul. Oh, the other little bulls he lived with would run and jump and butt their heads together. As bulls do. But not Ferdinand. You like how I peek around the corner? He liked to just sit quietly and smell the flowers. He had a favorite spot out in the pasture under a cork tree. Cork tree? I didn't know there was such a thing. I don't really know if there is. Look, my hair is the top of the tree, blowing in the wind. So he just liked to sit quietly under a tree called a cork tree. It was his favorite tree, and he would sit in its shade all day and smell the flowers. And look at what he's looking at. See the other little bulls down there butting their heads together? Showing how strong they are. And here comes his mom. And there he is. Do you see Ferdinand? He's under the tree. Sometimes his mother, who was a cow, would worry about him. She was afraid he would be lonesome all by himself. Why don't you run and play with the other little bulls and skip and butt your head, she would say. But Ferdinand would shake his head. I like it better here where I can just sit quietly and smell the flowers, he would say. His mother saw that he was not lonesome. I'm looking over here because that's where the screen usually is. And because she was an understanding mother, even for a cow, she let him just sit there and be happy. You see him way up there? So she walked away and she's worried no more. As the years went by, Ferdinand grew and grew and grew until he was very big and strong. Wow, he looked so strong. All the other bulls who had grown up with him in the same pasture would fight each other all day. They would butt each other and stick each other with their horns. What they wanted most of all was to be picked to fight at the bullfights in Madrid, which is in Spain. Oh, look at this picture. What is he doing to that poor bull? Oh, wow. guys, they have Band-Aids on them. Why do they have bandages? Because they're fighting all the time. But that's just what they do. But not Ferdinand. He still liked to sit quietly under the cork tree and smell the flowers. He's like Miss Thompson. And it's okay to be like the other bulls too. One day, 5 men came in very strange hats to pick the biggest, the fastest, the roughest bull to fight in the bullfights in Madrid. See their cool hats? I gotta check the time. Okay. All the other bulls ran around snorting and butting, leaping and jumping so the men would think that they were very, very strong and fierce. And pick them. But not Ferdinand. He knew they wouldn't pick him and he didn't care. So he went out to his favorite cork tree to sit down. Doobity-doo with the butterflies. Ferdinand. Uh-oh. Every story has a problem. He did not look where he was sitting. And instead of sitting on the nice cool grass in the shade, he sat on a bumblebee. Oh, look at the bee's face. And there's Ferdinand and his tail. Well, if you were a bumblebee and a bull sat on you, what would you do? You would sting him. And that's exactly what this bee did to Ferdinand. Look at his face. He's like, ooh, ooh. Wow. Did it hurt? Ferdinand jumped up with a snort. He ran around puffing and snorting, butting and pawing the ground as if he were cuckoo pants. Crazy. There's the bee. He's so mad. See him? Looks like he's yelling at Ferdinand. And there's Ferdinand. Oh my goodness. Woo. Oh, look, cork tree. There's the corks. The 5 men saw him and they all shouted with joy. Woohoo! Here was the largest and fiercest bull of all. Just the one for the bullfights in Madrid. Look how excited they are. And look at Ferdinand's freaking out. I wonder if you could still see the bee. I don't see him. Wow, he does look strong though. Look at all those muscles. Again, the artist didn't color it. And Mrs. Thompson was like, I'm not reading this because they're not color. And then I read it. And then I looked at the pictures. And they don't need color because the details are so interesting. Anybody who's had me knows I always say, color your pictures. And this one just looks spectacular. So they took him away for the bullfight day in a cart. And there he is. Do you see him? On a long journey. What a day it was. Flags were flying. Bands were playing. He's going through the town in his cart. Wow, look at this huge parade. See all those little guys? Those are people, friends. So it's showing us a perspective. We're really far away, and it's showing how many people there are. And all the lovely ladies had flowers in their hair. And that is why I picked this story today. Because I love looking like the Spanish ladies with the flowers in their hair. I love it. And what does Ferdinand love to do? Do you guys remember? Yes, what else? Good job, Victoria. They had a parade into the bull ring. Did I skip a page? No. First came, I have to read this word carefully, banderilleros with long sharp pins with ribbons on them to stick into the bull and make him mad. Oh, that's not very nice. But that's a tradition in Spain. This is It's kind of realistic fiction, but not really, because we don't really know that cows and bulls talk to each other. But I think it is a tradition. The running of the bulls in Spain is a thing, and they want them to run, so they do poke them and stuff, which Miss Thompson doesn't like, but that's my opinion, and that's okay. Oh my goodness. Now look. Next came the picadores, who rode skinny horses, and they had long spears to stick in the bull and make him madder. Poor Ferdinand. Then came the matador, the proudest of all. He thought he was very handsome and bowed to the ladies. He had a red cape and a sword and was supposed to stick the bull last of all. And look at the guy behind him holding the sword. And if I remember right, he is holding it on a beautiful fancy pillow. Then came the bull, and you know who that was, right? Ferdinand. So he's in the arena. What's going to happen? Look at, how do they look? Look at their eyes, friends. Brave, nervous, scared. They called him Ferdinand the Fierce because all the banderilleros were afraid of him, and the picadores were afraid of him, and the matador was scared stiff. And this is the matador in the front, the one who's like, "Hey ladies, how you doing?" Ferdinand, do you see him? Right there. There's a matador. And look at all the people. Wow, in the arena or coliseum. Remember, there's a lot of words that can mean the same thing. Ferdinand ran to the middle of the ring, and everyone shouted and clapped because they thought he was going to fight fiercely and butt and snort and stick his horns around. This is what the people wanted to see. They didn't have TV back then. So this was their TV. Yeah. But now Ferdinand, what did he do? He sat down. Does he look angry? Sorry, it's out of focus. And then look up here. But not Ferdinand. When he got in the middle of the ring, he saw all the flowers in all the pretty girls' hair. And he just sat down quietly and smelled. He wouldn't fight and be fierce no matter what they did. He just sat and smelled. And the banderilleros were mad, and the picadores were madder, and the matador was so mad that he cried. Because he couldn't show off with his cape and sword. Gotta make sure you see everybody. They're trying to distract him, but it's not working. So they had to take Ferdinand back home. And they're leaving the arena or the Coliseum. And there's Ferdinand going back home. And for all I know, he is sitting there still under his favorite cork tree, smelling the flowers, just quietly. He is very happy. Isn't happy one of our high frequency words? No. Is it? Is it? He's very happy. The end. Oh, friends, that's one of my favorite stories. It's so sweet. That just because you're built a certain way doesn't mean you have to act a certain way. So just because you're told that you have to act like a bull doesn't mean that you have to act like a bull. And if you want to, that's okay too. Just do what's good in your heart. Thanks for watching. Bye, friends.